Okay, this video will help you in flash photography, everything to do with off-camera flashes, the types of batteries you should be using, what the best batteries are, how to look after the batteries. This is mainly going to be linked in the description below with chapters, so it's going to be loads of elements I'm going to cover. I'm hoping this will help you if you're looking at anything to do with flash photography and off-camera flash, so speed lights mainly, so you'll be able to see how to use a light off camera with wireless triggers and how that can help you get better photos. So make sure to check out the description for all the segments which will help you navigate this. So okay, this one is a Yongnuo Speedlight YN560 Part 2. It comes with a great little case, and it comes with a little slot there where you can use a little stand. So these are fairly old. These are not new flashes. It normally comes packed like that. You can see Yongnuo, a nice case. It's got a little slot on the back so you can actually put it on your belt, which is a later addition by me. I added a little extra fabric piece on there. I used to have it on my belt. And if I show you the flash quickly, that's the little stand for it. And that's how it stands. Let me bring it up widescreen so you can see it. That's how it stands there. You can adjust it for different types of shooting, and it's a cheap flash. Let me be clear with that. So this one is like a Chinese type manufactured one. What I've got is some batteries, and I'm going to give you a brief overview of how I look after my batteries. So right now here you can see a case. These are readily available and they help keep your batteries secure, safe, in sets of 4. So in this example here, you can see I've got 4 Duracell rechargeable batteries. So you can basically put them in a case. They're ready to use as a set of 4. I like to use them as a set of 4 because my flashes take 4 batteries. So you'll see here, they are 4 batteries. When they're charged, the pluses face the same direction. Because I've got multiple batteries, I store them in the cases. So in that example there, if these were used, I'll just do something like that, throw them in the case. So now you can see there, they're not all facing the same way. So that's a good tip if you're using batteries and you have a lot of them. Those have been used, so I won't pick those up again. If I look at those, I can see they're all facing the same direction, which means they are charged and ready to use. So those are instant batteries. How long do rechargeable batteries last? Well, that all depends on how well you look after them and how frequently they're used. I purchased these batteries in 2012 and we're in 2020 now. They still work perfectly fine. I use them for flash photography. I've taken probably over 12,000 photos with flash. So these batteries are used with those. And that works out to what, about 20p per 100 photos or something silly like that. So they're very price friendly and green, because come on, think about it. If you use the normal batteries, you don't want to end up using them and throwing them and then using them. These are rechargeable, so they're basically using the same batteries over and over again. If you look after them well enough, then they're actually going to be very long lasting. Think about it. I've had them since 2012 and I've been using them since now. I still use them. How to recharge rechargeable batteries. So that brings me on to quality of charger. You'll see a lot of types of batteries. Let me bring this over here. So a lot of types of batteries are rechargeable and they'll offer you special chargers which like charge something like fast charge in an hour. The idea with these is if you charge them too fast, it's not good for the battery. So I found that, and I use this Wapix charger, which is a trickle charger, and you can see here I can charge them in sets. So there's 4 batteries, which are a set of batteries. Once they're charged, I'll put them in a case, just like this, facing the same direction. You can see there. So those are ready. These have been charged, but I put them in just to show you what I do. So let me put them back in the right direction. So this section is basically going to be all about batteries and management. That's 2. Here's another one, and these are all fully charged, so put them in the same direction there. So right now I have 1, 2, 3 charged batteries. These last about 4 hours, about 250 shots if you're shooting with the flash. This is the flash I use, a young newer flash. You'll see a separate video about this. It takes 4 batteries, and here are 4 batteries. I have some more being charged. These ones are the best batteries I've got. These are Sanyo Enealoop batteries. They're really good for high charge, high power items such as a flash. Because let's think about it, with a flash, when you're taking photos, you want quick recharge time. So that is full power. Let's do a, there's a quick test fire. Full power and green light. It's ready to charge again. Red, ready. So you can see there, quick 2 seconds maybe. So those are great batteries if you're taking photos with flash photography. I've talked a bit about the life cycle, the types of batteries, how to look after them, why you need batteries, and why they should be rechargeable. These are all great for flash photography, and this Wapis charger takes a normal plug adapter, 12 volts, and I charge them. You can charge smaller batteries as well. So if I show you these are small AAA batteries, and in the same charge you can actually charge 8 of these, so they go in that way. So you can choose which ones are better for you to charge. I have 4 small ones which I use. These are the AAAs for the flash triggers, which are wireless triggers. You'll see that in a later segment, but this is basically batteries and why rechargeable batteries are going to be great for you for flash photography. It takes 4 AA batteries. I already covered how to look after your batteries and the best types of batteries you want to get. These are 2450 milliamp hours. These are high requirement flashes because they shoot flash and you want a quick recharge time. You can notice there you can open up the flash and you can put in the batteries. It takes 4, and that is ready to shoot. You basically hold the on off button for a few seconds. You'll see a series light up, and then here you've got a few options on the flash. So I'm going to do a full tutorial of how to use these flashes and how to use them off camera in a later segment. But this one is going to basically be, here you have a little beep. The pilot light is red, which means it's ready to fire. Let's go down to, I don't know, just enough to give you a show. So if I keep this pilot light button pressed, it should fire. Let's give it a shot. There was a slight flash, so that's firing. Cheap flashes, what normally happens is if it's off camera, that will beep. You get like a deet, it's ready to shoot, so you know that it's not going to fire a blank. It's got a zoom option, which is basically how much of the light is concentrated to wide. I'll show you all that in another section, how to get the best from flash photography, especially in like a product photography environment. But yeah, this is basically a look at a cheap flash, just to give you an idea of what it looks like, how it feels. There's a couple of little extra sync options here, and you can add a little battery pack on it. So if you have a separate battery pack, it's basically you can have like up to 8 batteries in there, so it lasts a lot longer. You have it on your belt. It's good. I would recommend it. I've had it for ages and I've used it a lot, the flash. So that's just like an overview to give you an intro into flashes and how they work. And you can also position them with the stand that comes in the case, which looks like that. So you basically clip it in like that, and then that just sits. Well, you probably can't see that down there, but it'll probably look better like there. So that kind of shows you an idea. So that's flash photography. I'll go into the other bits of showing you properly how to use it in a real life shoot. Currently going for $59.96. It's a cheap flash which takes 4 AA batteries, and it's a great addition to your kit if you want to use it for off-camera flash. I'll show you a few ways you can do that. Let me quickly show you. There is the link, so you can use it on Canon, Nikon, most cameras with hot shoes, and that will be there will be a link in the description to allow you to buy this flash. Okay, so a quick look at the basics of off-camera flash. So I'm going to basically talk through the elements. You saw a top-down shot there, and I'm going to give you an example of how you set them together. There's a few things you're going to need. Let me take it apart so you can see it properly. So I have a flash, which is here. Ignore that, that's just batteries charging. So that's the first element, an off-camera flash. 2 triggers, because I only have 1 flash. If I had 2 flashes, I'll need another trigger. That's just a stand. Your camera. So firstly, you put your camera on. You turn the trigger on. They often take batteries. I have charged the batteries and put them in. That will go on the camera. So that's how it looks. And then make sure it's turned on. So you can see the lights on there. Then we have a flash. That needs its own trigger. You basically slide it on. And that is there. Then there's a little stand just to make it a little easier for myself. So now that sits there. They're both turned on. You'll see they are connected because there's green lights on the triggers. The flash is turned on. So let's take a quick shot. And you saw the flash fire, hopefully. Just like that. And that's taking a photo. So that is an off-camera trigger. You can have multiple triggers, which I do have. So I have another one here because I have 2 flashes. I have another one here because sometimes I actually do off-camera flash where I can plug a lead from the trigger into the camera and have that on a tripod somewhere and have my remote, and I can actually trigger the camera differently. So I have one camera totally set up separately, taking photos from a set spot whenever I want to, and I have a camera with me. So that's a quick off-camera flash setup tutorial, basically. Okay, in this video section, I'm going to be covering the basics of off-camera flash. There's a few things you'll need. Your camera, your flash, and the bit that makes the off-cam flash possible. Flash camera wireless triggers. Let me show you a top-down shot so you can see how these work. Here's my camera. That camera can be put into any mode as normal. So if I turn it on, these flashes take small AA batteries. I've charged them and I've put them in. You can see there's a hot shoe here. That basically slides onto here, like so. You can see the green light has illuminated. So that is ready. I've got a number of these off-cam triggers. That's number 1. Let's put that to one side. Don't worry about that. I'm charging some batteries for the flashes. You may have seen that separate section about different types of batteries in this segment. So here, well, let's do it properly, shall we? Let's turn that off. Let's turn that off. Let's turn that on. Light is on. Let's turn that on. Light is not on because it hasn't connected. There is a shoe and a shoe. Here's our flash. Let's turn the flash on. I always shoot in manual mode, which is that M on the top there, you can probably see. And let's put this flash on. And now, make sure it's turned on before I put it on. Okay. So now you'll see below here, the green light is on. Camera green light is also on. So those two are connected. The flash is on. Let's put it on a little stand to make it easier for ourselves. So that's going to stand there. Point the flash somewhere. We'll take a picture of that maybe. Okay, so now what will happen is it's connected and synced. If I zoom in my lens, You may have saw the flash, as in go off, fire off. So that's all it needs. If I quickly show you the image, that's the image there, which is basically the batteries over here. So that is an off-camera trigger. You can have multiple triggers, which I do have. So I have another one here because I have 2 flashes. I have another one here because sometimes I actually do off-camera flash where I can plug a lead from the trigger into the camera and have that on a tripod somewhere, and have my remote, and I can actually trigger the camera differently. So I have one camera totally set up separately, taking photos from a set spot whenever I want to, and I have a camera with me. So that's a quick off-camera flash setup tutorial basically.